So to start out first is bags. So in this first bucket here, I'm going to be planting peppers and then onions. Honestly, potatoes, you can just do them in chunks. There's not a lot of like small sugar pumpkins. Oh, see, that one came out awesome. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're on a great day, great night. My name is Brianna, and today I'm gonna be going over how to kind of get your garden started if you have a small space. If that be like a patio, or you're gonna be moving, or you're in a rental, or whatever it be, if there's a reason why you need like a smaller spot and you don't have a lot of planting room, this is it. So I'm gonna go over like tips and tricks and things to have a successful garden. Now, this is actually my first year with trying this, but I've been doing a lot of researching, and I grew up on a big farm, so it's just my first time doing bag gardening. So first off, you're gonna need a container. Also, I'm gonna post the links to all the materials, as many as I can, down below. So if you guys have any questions on want to buy any of that, go do it. So to start out first is bags. So I got these 3 packs. I think they might have been on sale when I got them. And I can't exactly remember the price at the moment, but they open up into these nice big bags. So you have these, really nice and awesome. Then we get the 3 pack as well. It will come with some of these gloves. I may or may not be using them today. We'll just see if I actually do. So these are just great bags. They actually have a pocket in them that you can open up so you can take plants out later. So pretty nice and nifty. There's handles, there's a pocket. So they're really nice. These are what I'm trying out. If you guys want to get them too, they're great. You can move them in a whole lot, especially, which is going to be good for me now because I'm planting pretty early. I'm really excited for this year. So at night I'm going to still bring them in because we get frost here in Utah, but during the day they can still be outside. So I've done a lot of research as well on what to plant with what, all of that. Gotten some plants started, so I'll probably post a separate video on how to start seeds more, but this one is just kind of planting into these bags, especially if you have a tight little spot. Filling them up. So filling them up is pretty easy. You just make your bag a little bit bigger or do that out. The dirt I have is this Pro Mix Premium Moisture Potting Mix. I got this from Walmart. I'll try to find it on Amazon. If not, you can get it probably from about anywhere, I'm not really sure. But the reason I like this, and this would be my suggestion whenever you're finding a potting soil, is finding one with low sticks. Sticks are not very good for your garden and for planting, and these ones do not have a whole lot of sticks in them or wood. So that's what you're looking for. They grow a lot better. So I'm just gonna go and fill this up. Filling up, make sure that everything is loose. You do not want to compact it. Plants do really well if there's loose soil, room for them to grow and all that. And then filling these to the top, because as you'll see, my carrots and radishes over here, I didn't quite do that, and it's really sunken down a lot. So we're gonna try to fill it up a little bit more, and then as water gets on it, it will definitely sink, but loose and try to the top. Another good tip I found as I have been filling these up is to shake them, because if you move the bags, they kind of expand in different directions. So just trying to move it around to make sure to get everything down in the different cracks has seemed to help out a whole lot more. Because again, on my first one, I planted my carrots and radishes a little bit ago, and they, as I moved the bag, have kind of moved around, and then suddenly there was this big crack in the side going down. So just trying to move it around from the beginning to get rid of those will help. So in this first bucket here, I'm going to be planting peppers and then onions. So what we're going to do is I am going to split these off into 3 different sections, so like a triangle. So just trying to widen down it, so then you have 3 different sections. So as you can see here, I've actually already prepped my peppers. I planted them from seed. I did a previous video, I just throw it into my vlogs, but so I'll probably do a little bit more on that in a different video on how to start them and everything, but you can also get these from the store too. So I have my peppers here. These two, the one I have over here, are they have kind of a bell pepper. They're called King something King. I just called it King pepper on my paper. And this other one is Craig's, and it's more of like your jalapeno. I think it's like Craig's jalapeno. So just decided to go with those kind of varieties. These seeds, and actually all the seeds I'll be showing in this video are from Baker's Creek. Oh my gosh, look how pretty that is. Honestly, it's too early to pull it out, but that's gorgeous. Look at those roots. I'm excited. So what we're going to want to do is you're going to have to bury this into here. So we have each of our, the parts of the Y, and what we're just going to do is at each Y, open up this hole, okay? We're going to open up because that's where you're going to be planting your pepper. And you can kind of measure it in. You want to be able to bury it a little bit. So get that hole all ready for when you put it in. So we're going to take out our pepper and then just open it up. So be really careful not to break them, but opening them up a little bit will help it to be able to expand. So just kind of slightly pull and we'll put this down into our hole. Now, do not forget water. For these, we can just put water right down into the hole. Okay? And then we'll just kind of bury them. Make sure, oops. I need my piece of paper with the name. Well, either it got buried or it disappeared. I don't really know. Anyways, so we'll just bury that. It might have been a little deep for this little guy, but he's planted. So that's our first one. Where did that go? I'm so confused. Anywho, so we're gonna do this for all 3 peppers and then we'll come back. So I got these all planted, all my peppers, and from here I've just been drawing, I'll just draw my little Y again, so I have my 3 separate sections. So next I'm gonna be doing onions. So I got these just from my local nursery. They're just onion sets you can get. They're called Colorado onion sets. So these are the red ones. Definitely more than I will use, but my mom has a big garden, so I'll give them to her. You can also plant onion seeds as well and do it that way, whichever you prefer. So what I'm going to look at is, here's my area. These are not the biggest. These are not the biggest bags or containers to it either. So I want to be looking on how much space am I actually going to have, what's going to be the best approach of when they're kind of full size on what we're going to do. And I think for just right now, I'm just going to do 3 into each little hole. So we'll just take these little things and I'm just going to dig a little hole with my finger and put them in, not too deep, and then kind of cover them up. So I'm just kind of planting them in a triangle. Make sure that you have the knob up and then normally kind of like your little root part down. So I'm just going to try to space these out, not too close to the peppers either, so they have some room to grow. So we'll just do this. Oh, like, see, this one already is kind of growing, so I'm going to plant that one as well and have it kind of sticking out already. So that's kind of fun. Actually, there's a few of those, you know? I think those are actually ones I want to plant. I think the really big one is too sad, but you can see they're ready and they want to come up, so we'll do those. So kind of just under the ground, not too deep, especially ones with little greens, so we'll let those stick out. And then I'll do my little pink ones as well. And then of course, afterwards is watering them to make sure they're good. You don't need with these to take anything off of them. You don't need to take off the outer shell. Like you can see if it's falling, you can. So we'll just plant those right in. So you'll have some yummy onions. Hopefully that's the plan, right? Into the ground. So, you know, after that, with these, onions are not super, they're not like little seeds where we need to be careful as we're planting them. And I'll show you in a little bit your method if you have little seeds and you don't want them popping up out of the ground. So, our onions are watered and planted. I guess they're both. They're all that. So, we got those all ready and set. So, that's pretty exciting, I think. So what I'm going to do is you can also get these labels. So they come in different colors. as well as you can, there's a green one that I don't know exactly where it's at, but you can get these off Amazon. I have the link below, another affiliate link. So again, you can go get them yourself if you want. They're really awesome for marking and they hold up really well. So I'm just gonna mark each section because I'm actually gonna try some seed saving. So I wanna make sure I get all my seeds. I know what they are and I won't be confused later on. And I actually do all the correct stuff with that. We have our next spot here and I actually wanna be doing corn and potatoes. So what we're gonna do is in the middle in here, we're gonna do the corn. Well, actually, I'm going to space it. I'm going to do corn, potato, corn, potato, corn, potato. Again, I feel like this may be a lot for one, but we'll just see. I'm trying it out. I'm trying to be as, use up as much ground as I can in my little space I do, because I do want a lot of plants. So maybe it's overkill. This one I'm not as for sure about as the corn and potatoes, but I guess we'll just see. So I also got these potatoes from our local nursery. You do not want to plant potatoes from the store because there's a lot more diseases. So you want to make sure that you get them like these. And they're better to plant and all that. So, one of the diseases, these ones are red Northernlands too. So, as you can see, your different potatoes have different eyes. And all you need to plant is 3 eyes. So I'm actually going to cut these because I don't need them to be super big to do these. So you can see some have their different stuff. So I'm just going to cut this one into half. Honestly, potatoes, you can just do them in chunks. There's not a lot of like, okay, so we're only going to be doing 5 in here. So with the potatoes, make sure to plant them about 6 to 8 inches deep. You want them to be down there a little farther. Help them grow and be strong and all that. 5 in here, and I kind of have an idea of where they're going to be at. Also, over time, as potatoes start coming up, you can also bury them a little bit. So what I'm going to do is each spot I plant my carrots, I'm going to plant 3 seeds. If I need to later, I can kind of pluck them, but that's going to be kind of the plan. So in between each of the potatoes, I'm going to plant 3 carrot seeds, and it only needs to be an inch or 2 deep, so not too much. So we'll bury those ones in with the corn. Have I been saying carrots? I meant corn. Oh my gosh, if I fight finding that in editing, that will be awkward. So this corn is called Orchard Baby, and it's actually meant for containers specifically. Again, the seeds, all the seeds I've been using have all been off Baker's Creek. I really like using them. They do awesome seeds, and so all of them, so you can see there are these Orchard Baby. They're kind of more like smaller corn, but I thought that would be a lot better for the container. And there'll be a lot more work with them as you're doing it with the container, but that's kind of the idea. So we have potatoes and corn in here, and again, you always need to water to make sure you have a nice healthy plant. And you know what? I actually didn't even, I'm gonna put some corn in the middle as well. We have potatoes and the corn ready. So for this next one, we're actually just going to be planting these small sugar pumpkins. So, small sugar pumpkins. So this is all we're going to be doing. I'm going to try to plant 3 different plants of these. Here, 1 at each corner. So kind of doing your Y, kind of help you to be able to tell where they're all going to be at. It helps with that. So all you need to do is 1 inch deep, so not too far, kind of just about the same plant width. Okay. So in our next pot, we're going to be doing the same thing, doing our little Y. And then I'm actually going to be doing this early prolific straight neck squash. It's a pretty popular one, but I love just put this into different soups. Just eating it plain, I always think is really yummy. So same thing, burying about 1 inch deep, 1 at each corner. And if you want, you can plant it a little bit more in there and then pick them later, but I'm not going to. If I don't get them all grow, I'm fine with that. so I'm not worried. If they don't pop up like they're supposed to. What I'm actually going to do too is just in the middle here, I'm going to plant a little bit of corn. Corn and kind of some different squashes go together, but so that's a good one. So I'm not going to do as much in here because I don't want to overload it too much, but I do want to try a little bit of corn and see how it does, so we get a little bit more corn hopefully. Same thing, we're going to be doing the little fours, and then I'm going to be doing the zucchini. So this one's like the fork cook, but pretty popular, you know, everyone really likes your zucchini. So, oh, come on. Same thing as the other ones, other squash, one at each corner. Now, as to note as well, I do definitely have other seeds and different ones, but I'm thinking this year where I don't have a lot of space to try to be more not ethical, but more direct on what I plant, making sure it's stuff we'll eat. So zucchini, squash, and pumpkins, I can definitely do that with. And then we'll actually do a little bit of corn. I should have done this before I put the water, but oh well. Okay, so we're going on to this plot. You can see I already have stuff planted in it, and I have cups and all that fun stuff. So if you had seen in the previous vlog, I planted the radishes and the carrots. So wanted to get them growing because they're more of a cold plant. So carrots are in the middle, radishes are on the edge, and then I put these cups in for the tomatoes to save their spot so I knew where to plant them. I didn't interfere. So first thing, we'll just take out each of these cups. Oops, be careful because that one definitely wants to come out to the rim or getting caught on the rim. For these, I'm just going to try to widen the circle now. Now, if you need to remove some of this dirt, you can, but I'm just going to try to pile it up, being careful not to cover up any radishes or carrots. So again, if you need to remove them, you can. So I have 3 different types of tomatoes. So the first one is like a Doc Tom. Honestly, that's a lot of tomatoes for one little spot. I got carried away in planting. So we're gonna see if we can salvage any of them without this. If not, I'm definitely gonna have to pluck because I planted way too many into one spot and they will not do very well. So it's nice to always, especially when you're doing this, and I should have said with the peppers, but just kind of push around the edge to help them to come out easier. So these ones definitely do not want to come out as easy. They're not as set as the peppers. So let's kind of work on them. And actually I can separate. So I think I'm going to try to give some of these to my mom. Probably just keep 3 there. We'll see how that does. Planting. And again, if it wasn't coming out like the last one, if they didn't come out, or they were kind of already moving around, but I could have easily have moved their roots around, but these ones are definitely not as established, and so it's okay. Okay, so this next one was a Mila tomato, and if you've been following along on Instagram, this was definitely a struggle to get this one to sprout. It just did not want to come out. They didn't want to germinate, which it did say on the package, so they definitely gave me more. So I'm not like mad about that one. That definitely happens occasionally, and they gave me more seeds to make up. So I just had to plant more seeds, but again, they made up with that with some other stuff, so I'm totally fine with that. Okay, and the last one is just this Amish mix. That's what it's called. So we'll work on planting these. Ugh. Oh, see, that one came out awesome. This one might be harder to separate, so we might not be able to salvage them as much. We'll see. Oh, okay, that's the third one. Oh, there's actually 3. So I think I'll just throw those ones away. I don't think they're gonna make it. Again, I definitely got a little carried away with those, and I shouldn't have probably planted as many seeds, but this is how you can just kind of, because sometimes you definitely do want to plant more seeds and try to germinate more than you can take, and that's just because it happens out that not all germinate like the Amish, and then you have cases where they all do, and that's what you do. So we're just plucking them off, fixing them now, and it should be better. Alrighty, so this is kind of all the plants I'm doing in the container gardening. This is kind of the method. So hopefully you guys like this video. I'll definitely doing a lot more and doing updates. So make sure you subscribe so you do not miss out on any of these videos at all. Especially with kind of the crazy times. Just trying to plant and doing what you can, even if you can't plant a big garden. Then this is like a great method to use, and just, you can still get fresh plants. And even if you're not worried about stuff, it's just always a good way just to eat healthy and to get more plants. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you are most excited to be planting down below, and I will see you guys next week. Hope you have a great day, great night. God bless.